what we're talking about?
Well, I was coaching with some of our agents yesterday around, conversation tracks, understanding what to say. And I just don't.
You just don't what? I can see
Hold
you
on.
and hear you still.
Okay. I was like, could you hear me? That was
Yeah,
weird.
the
There
whole
was
time. Everyone's hearing you. This is great, dude. Look at
no, no,
this.
no.
This is
So
live.
just for everybody on here, I had the YouTube live up over here because I was testing the connection, and my voice was playing back to me. I was
And you're like, who is this freaking
I'm
amazing
like,
person
the
talking to me?
AI gods have started to speak. Okay,
This
so
voice, it's so great.
I just don't think people realize the power of Chat GPT or Grok or any of these AIs to hone your skills, to
What do you mean?
actually have a role play conversation with it. I mean, it's not like talking to a real client 100%, but it's like talking to a real client like 80 to 85%. And so I guess my question is for anybody listening to this is why the heck wouldn't you role play with AI to get better at working with real people and knowing exactly what to say?
Yeah, I mean, here's the downside to having a script partner. Okay. The upside is awesome, right? Because you're going to get better, you're going to get feedback, it's a real person, all that. Downside is you have to coordinate calendars. You both have to show up on time. Block out this time when it's, maybe not convenient for one of you. And honestly, you might not be getting great feedback, right? Like the human being might be nicer and like, oh, I think you did really good. And they don't want to tell you like, hey, you actually will never get an appointment talking like that.
Well, and honestly, your script practice partner might not be a pro, meaning they might not understand isolation, they might not understand a ledge, they might not understand different pieces of how to say things. And so the feedback that AI will give you is like, hey, you did this, that was great, but next time consider using a ledge. And a ledge is like, I don't know if this is for you, but it's a ledge. It's pushing them onto the ledge and then saying, it's up to you to jump.
Hmm.
So
Interesting. Well, I know we were talking about it earlier. I don't know. Do you want to do some like real life
yeah,
AI scripting right now?
yeah, let's do it, man.
Okay, cool. Well, then I'll share my screen. We'll dive in. I have this pulled up. All right, here we go. This, Brent, before I go into this, why don't you talk about what this is? Because I'm in a special GPT that the Real Estate Growth Network actually created. So what is this?
So this is a highly trained sales professional who understands conversation tracks, understands strategies in conversation. It knows exactly what to say as a sales professional, and it's been instructed to be a script and role play partner with you. So this particular GPT will do multiple things. It will role play with you, but it will also help you if you're on a live call and you don't know what to say. You can throw in the objection really quick, and it will give you ideas of what you might be able to say. Now, I know you got to act fast on that, but if you're stumped, you can keep the conversation going and say, they said this, what should I say? And then you can go back to it. So it's powerful. You can also, tell it what happened on your call and ask it what you should have done differently. And it'll give you feedback there too.
Okay. Well, we had something in here. I think you gave me something. It might be kind of tough. We'll see. I've never done this with this, but you gave me a prompt and I'll just read what the prompt says fast and then we'll get into it and I'll try and do some live role play. I'm not going to go on for, minutes and minutes. I'll go on for a minute or two and I'll probably stop it and say, hey, give me some feedback on what we talked about. And we'll just see what it says. So you gave me a prompt, play the role of a homeowner whose listing just expired. You're frustrated with agents and feel like they only called a pitch. Your objection should be, we're going to stay off the market for now. Your temperament is defensive and skeptical. Awesome. Give me a really, really good one. Stay in character until the appointment is set. Do not give any feedback during the interaction. Only give feedback once the appointment is set. Do not repeat your objection or go off script. Only respond to the agent's objection handler and only provide additional context when asked directly. All right, this looks interesting. So this is stump chase. So let's see. I'm gonna load this in, and then I'm gonna make it like talk to me. So all right, so it's just typing right now, but we're gonna upgrade this. We're gonna go into voice mode. All right, can you hear me okay?
Absolutely. I can hear you loud and clear.
All right.
Thanks for letting me know. Let's dive right back in.
Yeah, let's dive into this. So I already gave you a prompt. I want you to start from the top. Start with hello.
Of course. Let's start from the top. Agent Hugh. Hello. Thanks so much for taking my call. This is Alex with Keller Williams. I understand your listing
Okay,
just expired, and I know that.
Stop. I want to play the agent role. I'm just going to have you play the client role. So you answer the phone as if you're the client, and then I'm going to practice on my end. Do you understand?
Absolutely. I've got it. I'll step into the client role, and you can be the agent. Let's roll from there.
Ring, ring.
Hello? Yeah, who's this?
Yeah, hi. This is Chase with Keller Williams Realty. Is this Carrie?
Yeah, this is Carrie.
Hey,
Look,
Carrie.
if this is about
Yeah, hey, Carrie. This is Chase. I was calling about your property on 123 Main Street, and I was just curious. Are you still looking to get it sold?
honestly, Chase, we're just going to stay off the market for now. We're kind of done with agents calling us and pitching to us, so that's where we stand.
Oh my gosh. It sounds like you're getting a lot of calls.
You can say that again. It feels like a dozen agents.
Yeah, well, a dozen agents are calling you. I'm sure they're just curious what caused you to change your mind on not selling your home.
Honestly, we just got frustrated. It didn't sell, and we don't want to deal with any more runaround. So for now, we're just staying put.
Well, let me ask you this. Even the best homes don't sell the first time. If we were able to sell your property in the next 30 days, would that be a problem for you?
Look, I'm pretty skeptical right now. We've heard promises before. But if you really have something different in mind, I guess I could listen for a minute.
Okay, awesome. I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to do that. Our team specializes, like I said, in homes that didn't sell the first time. So, are you familiar with what we do to get homes sold?
Not really. I mean, I didn't know a lot of agents say they have a strategy, but sure, you can tell me what makes you different.
Yeah. Well, I'd love to tell you, but what's better than that is showing you. When's a good time that I can come out today, maybe at 3 o'clock, to show you why so many people choose City of Trees Real Estate to list and sell their home?
All right. You know what? I'll give you a shot. Let's say 3 o'clock today. We can talk then and see what you've
Okay.
got.
Okay. Stop. So let's do this real quick. Give me some feedback. What went well? Give me two things that I did well, and then give me two things I can do better.
Absolutely. Let me break it down for you. So, first of all, you did a great job staying calm and friendly, even though I was playing a bit of a skeptical character. And second, you smoothly worked in a time for the appointment and gave a clear value proposition. Now, in terms of improvement, one thing you could do even more is acknowledge that skepticism a bit deeper just to show you understand. And second, maybe add a tiny bit of that magic phrase like, I'm not sure if it's for you, but just to soften that approach. Overall, you did really well.
All right. So, Brent, that's pretty interesting. What do you think about that?
Well, here's what's really interesting is I've played with this a lot of times. I don't know why at the beginning it started to act as the agent or say that that was a glitch. And by the way, I think that's important to say is AI is not perfect. So sometimes it will glitch and you have to reset it like what Chase did. So but sometimes it's really easy to get to the appointment. Like with you, it was fairly simple to get to the appointment. And sometimes it just decides that it's not going to let you get to the appointment, or it's going to be more difficult, or it's going to be a little bit more standoffish or give harder objections. So I
Kind of like
like the
real people.
randomness. I like the randomness of it, honestly.
Yeah.
I think it teed up well for this call, which was great. But um, to me, there's no way you can't get better, even if it let you get to the finish line every time that easy. There's no way you can't get better using it.
Well, some of the rules I've given people when they go to do role play is I tell them, I'm like, hey, 15 minutes, 7 minutes each. You have to give at least 3 objections, and there's always an appointment at the end of the tunnel. Always an appointment. And the reason for that is like there's no point in us practicing someone who's never going to meet with us. What's the point? I don't want to practice that. And we want to also feel what it's like to get the appointment, and that translates in real life. And I think the coolest thing about this to me, Brent, is most of us have some sort of commute or downtime. Even if we work from home, we have some sort of downtime, maybe like a 15-minute breather or something between eating breakfast and going to sit down and get to work. Like, go for a walk, put this in your ear, start talking to it during your walk for 15 minutes, script practice. Like this I would be blown away if you can't get better if doing this 15 minutes a day for the next month. There's no way.
Here's the last thing that I'll leave with. It's much less stressful and easier to mess up when it's AI on the other end than if it's somebody else listening, or obviously if it's a client. So it's significantly easier to sharpen your skills with this, in my opinion.
And something we didn't show, but you can definitely do it, is like, hey, why don't you be the agent? I'll be the client. And then you can just kind of reverse the role and see what it says. And you can start to give it objections. And, there's the possibilities are only limited to where your mindset's at. So,
yeah. So, and just to put a pin in it, the Regen sales assistant has been trained in the style of Phil M. Jones and Jeb Blount. It's built on an entire framework, and then it's built to, if you want to script play or give it a scenario, it's built to ask you questions about the scenario first before it gets started. So it's very easy to use, and it's very well qualified to be a role play partner.
yeah. Hey, Aaron, I'm pretty sure you're out there. If you are, do me a favor, take the link to our AI tools on Stand Store. They're free. We have 6 of them. This is one of them, and you should definitely be using it every day. Put it in the description of the YouTube right now. So if I don't know where you're watching this, maybe you're watching on YouTube. If you're not, go to YouTube, and in the description, you're going to see there's 6 free AI tools you can access, and all of them have a lot of value for real estate agents. So,
sweet. All right. So I was talking to a few agents the other day, and we were talking about something I saw on Instagram, and it made me think of a few past like things I did to generate business. I want to know your thoughts on it. If you think that this would be a valuable thing for agents to use. The one that comes to mind in Idaho, especially, it works really well, but I think it would work in all 50 states, even if the value is right. But basically pulling up all your past clients, everybody that's bought a home from you, and pulling up their address on Zillow. And then you find their property on Zillow and you take a screenshot of it with the Zestimate. And then you basically, what you can do is you can 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people a day, depending on how many past clients you have, or one a day or one a week or whatever you choose to do. You basically send that screenshot and you say, hey, I noticed the Zestimate on Zillow for your property. What are your thoughts on the value that it came up with? And that's it. And you send the screenshot along with it. And the goal there is just to open up a line of conversation around their property, their value, what their thoughts are on it. And then obviously from there, you can lead into some motivation and see if there's any need for a real estate review. What are your thoughts?
Well, I love it. First of all, something you and I have taught quite a while is like agents don't talk about real estate enough. Even the good ones who are making calls and talking to their people, they're not bringing up real estate as often as they should. So this forces you to, because you're texting them real estate. And I've heard you say that a couple different ways, like, hey, what are your thoughts? I've also heard you say, hey, I've got some thoughts, but I'm curious what yours are. And I wouldn't be stressed at all about doing anything on their property. Just see what they say. think about the amount of help you can provide, because let's say they don't really know what their home's worth, and they've got quite a bit of equity. Maybe they got $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 worth of equity. Like, do they know that they could maybe pay off some debt, or they could do some home improvements, or maybe they could refinance. Maybe they want to upgrade. Like, there's so many things that can come out of this. And one of my natural knee jerks too would be like, hey, do you know anyone else who would like to know this information that I should reach out to? And there's plenty of people. So I love it.
So moral of the story is, if you're not willing to call, and let me rephrase that, because it hasn't really, here's my thought. Sometimes it's challenging for people to call and talk about real estate. This is a strategy that would simplify it for you and open up a real estate conversation. It's very low friction, and it's a high value touch. It lets them know that you're keeping track of what's going on with their property, while also interjecting a question to get them to start talking about their property and giving you a path. So I think for agents that hesitate, I think this is a really good strategy to get into the process of talking real estate.
This is genius. Do it. I would pick a number and do it every day you work. So like, I'm going to do 2 a day or 3 a day or 4 a day, a number you're going to do, and just do it. And you know what a good strategy is too, Brent, is to like pick a number and a time frame. So don't say, oh, I'm going to send 2 of these and then see what happens. Like, no. You're going to send 2 a day for the next 30 days. Then you're going to judge whether or not it makes sense, right? Kind of like, I don't know if we want to go into this. We might not even have time, but we were talking about one of the strategies we use about sending out a deal of the week. And someone said, oh, I don't send it anymore because I had someone unsubscribe. So I don't know. Is that too big of a tangent?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. So what kind of, I think you had some great advice. Like, what would you say to the person who is afraid to reach out to their people because they're bothering them, or they're going to unsubscribe or opt out?
Actually, I'm going to steal what you said, because when you said that was like a light bulb moment for me. And basically what you said, and you were following up to the advice I gave her, but what you said, look, if you have someone's email, so I want you to say you have 100 people's email. Okay. So if you email 100 people and 10 people unsubscribe, and then you say, hey, I'm bothering people, I'm going to stop.
It hurts.
I'm going to stop emailing. Like, not emailing 100 people is the same as 100 people unsubscribing. It's the same net result. So if you have the email, you might as well send it. But in the example I gave you, if you email 110 unsubscribe, that's 90 people that said they wanted to hear from you.
Yeah.
Versus if you choose not to email it, that's 100 that aren't hearing from you. So the swing there is a pretty big swing for getting your message out there. And so I think anybody who is hesitant to bother people with their real estate message, why do you have their contact information then? Like, you might as well just kick them out of your CRM if you're not going to use it. You might as well stop paying for your CRM, to be honest with you.
There's no point in having someone's name, phone number, email if you never call them, never text them, never email them. What's the difference?
For fear of bothering them or being,
it's kind of like there's no difference between the person who can't read and the person who doesn't read. Like, what's the difference?
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. 100%. So one last thing, if we can jump into this, I got this from a coaching client, and when I heard it, I said, I'm immediately going to add it into our business. I think it's genius, and the genius is in the simplicity. So this is a text message that you can send to anybody. Doesn't matter if they're a past client or if they're, they currently own, they currently rent. They said that they're never going to buy. They said they're never going to sell. It doesn't matter. You can send this to them, and it opens up conversation. So the text message reads, hey, name, I've been helping a few people lately shop for their next home before selling or If they're renting, you can say something about renting or whatever. If your dream home popped up off market, would you want me to flag it for you? And that's it.
Wow.
Like, if you sent that and someone said no, okay.
Well, I'm just thinking about it. If I got that and they're like, if my dream home pops up, why would I say no?
Exactly.
Like, I'm just like, yeah. I mean, I guess I would maybe say no because like I can't afford it or whatever. But even then, I'd be like, dude, I can't afford that, and then we'd be in
Exactly.
dialogue, right?
Yeah. So again, it's, hey, I've been helping a few people quietly shop for their next home before selling. If your dream home popped up off market, would you want me to flag it for you? That's it.
Wow.
So if you can add that into your arsenal of text messages, these are called, by the way, these are called value add text messages, value add messages. You're actually adding value because you're offering up your services to help people in a very nonchalant and unassuming way where people don't feel like they're being sold.
Yeah, to me, these seem like the easy button to get contacts. Like, I mean, and just from some mindset, like the subconscious mind is like, wow, Brent is helping people off market. Like he's working for people, right? So he's busy, he's selling homes. Even if you've never sold a home in your life and you send that text message, like you're coming from authority because you're already helping someone else do it.
And by the way, is that true? Yes, it's true. Even if you've never sold a house, are you currently trying to help people shop for a home? You're trying to
Yeah.
help anybody who
Well,
can shop for a home.
and just an arrow in your quiver, wherever your brokerage is at, or if you're on a team, or if you know another agent who has some business and you can ask them, like, hey, do you have someone looking and can't find anything? Like, you can find this person pretty easily. Doesn't have to be your buyer. So, all right, we got anything else on? These are good, so I don't want to jump off too quick. You want to jump into a little bit of real estate news?
Yeah, let's do it. I'm gonna, just for everybody listening to this, I'm gonna send this to Erin, that script that I just gave you, and I'm gonna have her add it to the description in YouTube.
Okay, sweet. All right. Well, don't lose too much track here because diving into this the news out there. So here's one of the headlines that's been rolling around this last week: new homes are temporarily cheaper than resale. So, a rare market twist: aggressive builder incentives are creating conditions where new homes are priced lower than resale options, something agents haven't seen in a while. That shifts perception and strategy. Buyers, agents, and developers are all rethinking their approach in the face of this unexpected inversion. So, Brent, what does it mean for the resale market when new construction is cheaper? And how should agents shift their marketing? Like, does this matter, first of all? And if so, how? Well, like, how does this impact us?
It 100% matters. And for any agent listening to this, hopefully I'm stating the obvious. Hopefully this is common sense to you. But depending on the market and the saturation of new construction, if you have a lot of new construction in your area, they are a lead measure to where pricing is going. They're a lead measure. And so, like, I remember 2 years ago or 3 years ago when resale was slightly cheaper than new construction. And the upsell to new construction is you're getting brand new, shiny, like, of course, like it's going to be a little bit more. So I guess my question to you, Chase, is why do you think anybody would pay more money for a used home than they would a comparable new construction home?
Okay, I have answers to this,
Okay.
for sure. So here's a couple things that you can put in your back pocket if you are selling a resale home. This may or may not be applicable, but one would be mature landscaping. Like that's one of those ones that's pretty obvious. Two would be you're not having to deal with construction, right? All the trucks and subcontractors and dust and trash and all that stuff. Three would be typically all the things you add later. So, for example, most new construction does not include washer, dryer, refrigerator, blinds. A lot of them don't include full fencing and full landscaping. So you look at a package like that on a a mid like a move up home that could be like $50,000. You know, so those are kind of just some knee jerk reactions. Did I miss anything there?
No, no, I think you hit it. I guess the question is what's that worth to someone? And reversing the scenario of, besides the mature landscaping, I think a lot of builders are not only cheaper right now, but they're offering incentives
Sure.
that people can use to get a lower rate. People can use to add things to their property if they want to put more landscaping, if they want to put a fence, whatever. So I'm just here's my knee jerk is people were willing to step up and pay more for new construction 3 years ago. I don't know if it's going to be an inverse number of people that are willing to step up and pay more for resale.
No,
So,
no, you're
so,
right.
so meaning the demand for someone to want to pay for resale higher than based on your reasons, I think are low. And because of that, I think any smart listing agent should take into account what new construction is being priced at. If your market's saturated with new construction, if there's a couple new construction properties, not really that big of a deal. But if you have neighborhoods and they're competing and you're competing with them, you need to be in the top percentage of absorption and consider those new construction as your competition.
Yeah, let me be clear. I'm in sales, so I'm thinking I'm a listing agent for a resale home hat on when I was doing that, right?
Totally.
So that'd be what I would be telling agents who are showing and they're like, "Well, the new construction's cheaper." Like I'd be, "Hey, did you think about this and this and this and this?" So I think there's a bunch of different things we need to be aware of. One is there's some deals out there for buyers. So if you're an agent repping buyers, you should absolutely be 100% up to date on what's happening in your market. I heard Brent just this last week, and I heard that they were offering rates as low as 1.99%, dude. Woo! Like that's hard to
Crazy.
compete with if
Yeah.
someone's so payment driven. And by the way, that's easy to pick up clients. You go post on social media, hey, want to get a 1.99% rate? Hit me up. I'll show you how. And like now you can start to use the builder's marketing as your own marketing to get your own clients. But here's been a rule of thumb that I've followed. Now, I have a very extensive new construction background. New construction, like the same home in the same neighborhood, one's brand new and then one is like a year old. The difference in pricing has typically been somewhere between 5 and 10%. Usually it's about 5% less for the resale. So it's kind of like buying a new car. You drive it off the lot, it loses value, right? Same thing with new construction. Like you buy that home, the day you bought it, it's lost 5% value. Well, what's the significance of that? Two things, I think. One is like recognizing your buyer who's buying it's paying a premium for new construction. But focusing more on this article, which I think is your point, Brent, is resale is behind the eight ball. They need to start lowering their prices. It should not be this way because people will choose the new construction. If everything's equal, they're choosing brand new. Right. And if brand new's cheaper, they're definitely choosing brand new.
100%.
And I don't want to go on to like tons of tangents here, but like, yeah, I think what you're getting at, and I wasn't necessarily answering, is pricing's going to have to correct. Those resale homes are just not going to sell, and then the ones that have to sell are going to lower their price.
Yeah. So just to reword what you're saying and kind of double clicking on what I said earlier, you need to be in the top percentage of absorption and you need to take new construction into account. So basically what I mean by that is if you pull the comparable properties to your home and new construction is in it, you basically say, all right, there's 15 available. And then you say, out of the last 30 days, same criteria, how many sold? Okay. I'm going to use 10 just to make the math easy. So 10 are available and 3 sold. Okay. So 10 are available, 3 sold in the last 30 days. What does that tell you, Chase? That tells you the absorption rate is what?
Yeah. Well, I mean, 7 didn't sell. So
Yeah.
30% per week.
30%.
Yeah.
Exactly. So what a smart listing agent is doing today is they're pricing in that top 30%. If you want to sell in the next 30 days, we have to be priced better than 7 out of 10 of these active listings.
Yeah.
And chances are the ones that are priced better are going to be new construction. So you're going to have to be in that range or slightly better in order to sell in the next 30 days. And I think there was a debate I was following on social media the other day about people saying that this agent just wanted the low price to get the commission faster. And I think that's something that agents fall prey to is they're scared of the consumer thinking that they're not going to work for their commission by pricing it too low and it's selling too fast. But everybody on this listening, I want you to hear and understand this right now. Homes that stay on the market longer don't sell for more money. So the goal is actually to sell it faster. And if you're thinking of it from a time spent perspective, the reality is like, if you were paying me hourly and you were paying me my hourly rate based on what I make per year, if you were a seller, you would want me to sell it as fast as possible. Because if I were going to continue to charge you the hourly rate to keep it on the market longer, then you would want me to not do that, right? And so that's very relative to this. The reality is you're leaning on the agent, their expertise, their knowledge to get it sold as fast as possible because you don't want to be the what's wrong with that house guy.
Well, I mean, just look at you go to look at something on Marketplace. If it's been on for a day and you want it, you're probably going to have to pay what they want.
Yep.
If it's been on for a few months, are you going to go in there and be like, I can't wait to pay you what your asking price is? Like,
No.
it's the same in real estate. It's just magnified, So if the price is 550 today, let's say the price is 500 today, but you list at 550 because you want to try it. And then you go to 525 and then finally you go to 500 and let's get this thing sold. But it's been 2, 3, 4 months. Someone comes out there. They don't offer 500. Sorry. Like, you've been sitting there. Something's wrong with you. They don't want to be the only idiot that buys your house. Right. So they're like, well, I'll buy it, but I want a deal. So now they're going to come in and lowball. And that's just the way it works. It's not up for debate. So we got time for one more news, or do you want to?
Yeah, I think we do. Yeah, for sure.
All right. So this one's interesting. This is a little bit more industry specific. So NAR, National Association of Realtors, is rebuilding trust with agents. Now I'm going to read this to you. Try not to laugh. I'll try not to laugh. After losing credibility following the settlement and commission rule changes, the National Association of Realtors is doubling down on trust. That's paying off. This time last year, only 17% of agents saw NAR as a positive for the industry. Now, agents are more stable in their careers. About 25% are considering leaving, down from nearly 1/3. So 1/3 of agents were considering leaving. Now it's only 1/4. NAR appears to be making progress in reconnecting with its membership. So I don't know exactly how that appears to be making progress, but I guess my question for you, and we did not rehearse this at all. Like, do you think NAR gives anything to you?
No. Funny you should say that because I think they just announced some weird benefits thing that I'd have to pull it up, but I saw it and I was like, nobody wants that. Like literally that's what you're spending your time and your energy and our money on is something that we don't want. Nobody wants that. And they were touting it as a massive benefit that they were now offering to its membership.
Yeah, I'll say here's the only thing, and I think it is important, but they have egg on their face, okay? One thing they do that is important is they lobby for real estate professionals and property homeowners, right? Like they are the largest lobby to protect property rights. That is important. Now they have egg on their face because their one freaking job, they lost this, basically $500 million settlement. And literally nothing's changed. I mean, I don't know the inner workings of everything, but essentially they did not do a great job in this lawsuit at all. Like, I can't even understand how it got to where it got to. It's ridiculous. So to me, no, they haven't gained my confidence back. And I'm with you. Like, everything they do outside of like the political nature of protecting property rights for homeowners and obviously advocating for real estate agents and specifically realtors, like, outside of that, it's just, I mean, really, it's smoke and mirrors. The stuff does not move the needle. Time and time and time and time again. Look at, I mean, even realtor.com, like, we don't even own it. Like Zillow. It's they have fumbled multiple times. And here's why I think they do. And we've seen this locally in our association, Brent. There seems to be a massive disconnect because an association wants to prove why an association needs to remain an association. So they want to collect your dues, and then they want to spend your money and provide value, right? And if they're not doing that, then they're not really justifying their value. But agents want to help people buy and sell homes. And so oftentimes those things are at odds with each other because the associations are starting to find things that benefit the association. I don't even know if that makes any sense to you.
No, it does. It does. They have to spend the money to show their value, and they spend it on things that appear to be value, but at the end of the day, it's not helping people sell more houses.
Yeah. NAR's never going to buy me leads.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I would say the one thing I would say is I think the data and the statistics that NAR puts out, I think that is valuable.
Yeah, you're right. That I agree with you.
Because they are a mass collection of it. And I think the political side of things, I honestly, I think the consumer doesn't really understand. There's people out there fighting to disband real estate agents. They say we're overpaid. They say NAR's a ripoff. All these things. But from the political side, I don't think they realize how NAR has protected so many things for home ownership that homeowners take advantage of, that they just don't even realize that it's there. So I said no earlier, so I'm going to retract it and say there are two benefits: the information that they provide us and the fact that they do go to bat politically to help with home ownership and fight for home ownership for the consumer. Besides that, for us directly, I don't think they do anything of value. They do things to try to show value, and it doesn't show up.
Yeah. And who knows what is going on there, but like a lot of the insurance benefits and a lot of the back end packages, and I don't know, they maybe help a very small portion of realtors, but they don't have to do much, dude. They just need to stop losing lawsuits.
So let's finish with this, if it's okay with you. I've said this, I don't know, probably multiple times since 2016 or 17. It's my belief that people that are not flexible, they're not open-minded, they either think they're already good, or oftentimes the agents that don't make any money think they already know everything, and the agents that make a ton of money like can't learn enough, and they're very open-minded. So what do you think when I say this? A fixed mindset will always get you a fixed income.
Yeah, I think it's a very accurate statement. And put it a different way, if you want to get to better, you got to get to different. So if you have a fixed mindset, you're going to continue to get the fixed results that you have. You'll naturally grow as you fail. But it's so much faster to grow through other people's failures, has been my experience.
Yeah. The other thing that's rattling through my brain is the saying, growth equals change, change equals hard.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I think a lot of people, you know, I don't know what the cause of being fixed minded is, but anybody listening to this, the challenge that I would give you today is look at your perspectives and the way that you currently approach things and ask yourself, are you fixed minded? And here's what I mean by that is you might be open minded in certain areas of your life, but you also might be fixed minded in other areas. And I'll give you a really easy example. Like someone who says, I'm not a morning person, and they've settled on it and that's it, and they're never going to be a morning person. That's a fixed minded approach to that whole topic. And it's because they've reconciled with how they feel in the morning, or they feel better when they stay up late and they sleep in, whatever they've reconciled with. But what if I were to offer them new information and say, hey, did you know that, you know, on average, people that wake up between, you know, 5 a.m. and 6:30 a.m. net more money as an entrepreneur than someone who doesn't? Like, if you're still saying, well, I'm not a morning person, you're being fixed minded. So I would challenge you to go and say, where am I being fixed in my mindset where it's actually not serving me and it's not helping me become better or more successful in my endeavors?
Well, and here's one other little challenge. If you think you're open minded, think of the political party you like the least and think of something they do that you wish your party did instead. And honestly, I think if everyone in the world did that, like we'd have a lot less fighting and a lot more peace because we're a lot closer than we think we are. But we just fix our mind to like, I am this, I hate that. And
Yep.
so they stand for that. So I hate them. And that's the only way we've gotten here. So,
Well, and the reality is, and you can see it play out. Nobody wins with that.
no,
You don't win. They don't win. Nobody wins.
I think the political parties win.
Yeah, I mean, uh, outwardly facing, they don't, but I think inwardly facing, they're winning.
Yeah.
So, interesting thought. So, just as a reminder to those out there, a fixed mindset will get you a fixed income. So, if you don't want a fixed income, go introspectively think about, where am I fixed minded and where should I be open minded?
Yeah. Challenge your belief system.
Challenge your belief system. Love it. Sweet. All right, man. That wraps up another episode of the
Jeez,
Regen Pod.
fast.
I know we're done. So until next time, we'll see you guys later.